Battle Circuit was the very last beat-em-up game released in arcades from Capcom. Did they go out with a bang, or just a whimper? Let's find out. Capcom released a very surprising number of arcade beat-em-up games, especially when you can think of Capcom in the arcades. You're probably more likely thinking of Street Fighter than anything else. That was probably their bread and butter, but they did release a lot of really impressive belt-scrolling games. And recently they put out the Capcom beat-em-up bundle on modern hardware, and this is a compilation of 7 really classic arcade beat-em-ups. I'm already very familiar with 4 of the games on this. The other 3, I'm itching to check out. Let's kick this off with Battle Circuit. Battle Circuit features a band of super-powered bounty hunters who, not unlike the cast of Captain Commando, are really a sight to see. The least remarkable of these is their leader, Cyber Blue. Also on the team are Captain Silver, who can shapeshift, Yellow Iris, a feral beast girl with a whip, Pinky, an intelligent ostrich with a young girl riding on her back, and a green alien plant monster who attacks with vines, all of which have their own strengths and playstyles which are just as varied as their appearances. Our heroes start out being tasked with the apprehension of a mad scientist known as Dr. Saturn. After taking him down, you're given a new assignment, the capture of a terrorist gang member known as Johnny, who possesses a floppy disk of great value, as it contains a program known as the Shiva system, capable of overriding computer systems all around the world. Remember when all it took was one of these to bring the world to its knees? Don't worry, there's nothing earth-shattering on this, just some crap shareware games. Anyway, like pretty much any Capcom arcade game out there, presentation is strong. A lot of the visuals remind me of Captain Commando. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if this was intended to be a Captain Commando sequel at some point. There's a lot of cartoony weirdness to the character designs and the visuals. Where else would you find a heroic carnivorous plant or an eye patch wearing pink ostrich? The stage design, the music, the sound effects are all really great, colorful, unique. The music has a lot of really synth-heavy sounds, and it's really familiar sounding, which is no surprise as the game's composer, Shun Nishigaki, composed music for over 30 games for Capcom over the years. The controls are pretty basic to this one, using just the familiar setup to many other Capcom brawlers, your typical attack and jump buttons, just like Final Fight. Along with the usual special attacks though, there are battle downloads which are temporary strength boosts to each character. Also, there are further special attacks which use control combinations similar to fighting games. These can all be purchased between stages with all the money that your character picks up, so that's just not something you do for points. There are also some team-up specials which can be pulled off in the multiplayer gameplay. Things like this are nice, change of pace, really great way to mix up the usually monotonous gameplay you find in some beat-em-up games. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this was the last arcade beat-em-up to be produced by Capcom, but Capcom never brought this cabinet to North America, most likely because consumers were more interested in head-to-head fighters. And this game came out in 1997. By then, 3D fighters were picking up in popularity too, so they probably thought it was a little primitive and wouldn't sell too well, which is really a shame, as this game is pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Capcom's beat-em-up bundle is not just going to be the first time North America is getting an official release of this, I think it's the first time anybody's getting a home port, which is pretty cool. I don't think, though, this game is going to sell the bundle by itself. I think the other 6 games included as well make this a must-have for a lot of people out there. It's already available on the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC are soon to follow. Japan, they're ever so lucky. They're getting a physical version of this. And I kind of wonder how this game worked in '97. Would it have been successful in the arcades? I don't know. I never really followed arcades all that much. Kind of wonder, I think the PS1, the Saturn, N64 all could have handled very faithful ports, just those disk systems would have had crappy load times, but that's no surprise. I'm glad to see it now, and also, one of my favorite things the last couple generations of gaming are all of these great arcade ports and arcade compilations especially. Heck, compilations in general of games that, you know, either retro classics that we got on home consoles or things in the arcade that I personally would have never seen. What are your favorite kind of compilations from the current generation? Love to hear your favorites Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.